Guys, I'm back for my review of Survivor Series. Sorry that I didn't do a SmackDown review yesterday, but I've had massive toothache. Honestly, you must think that I'm always ill, it's true, I am. I had a massive toothache all weekend, and honestly I could barely talk, I could hardly eat, and I was just like, ugh. So, I'm really sorry that I didn't do a video. But yeah, no, I'm trying to do this video tonight, obviously, because I want to watch Raw tomorrow night, whereas if I've got to spend tomorrow evening doing my review, it's going to be ages before I can watch Raw. So, Survivor Series, on the whole, was a good pay-per-view. Obviously, there was a few, bit boring bits, really, and obviously it was a bit slow, getting started, but on the whole, it was a pretty good show. It was a really, random pay-per-view. I think it was just because of the crowd, really, because they literally were just, chanting the most random, they were chanting just, for random wrestlers, they were, chanting for, Undertaker, obviously, and he wasn't even there, and just, I don't know, just chanting, random people's, names throughout the pay-per-view, and it was just, okay then. But, it was a pretty good show. I'm kind of, rambling. I'm, really tired. I've been at work all day, and I'm sorry, I know you would say, don't say you look a mess, but honestly, I do, and I'm just blah. So, this is my, end-of-day face, because I'm, literally going to bed in, an hour, so. Anyway, I'm going to actually talk about the pay-per-view now. I'm just rambling on about me. So, the first match was obviously John Morrison versus Dolph Ziggler, for the US Championship. Zack Ryder should have been in this match. Honestly, the crowd were going mad for him and just completely booing John Morrison, and just chanting "We want Ryder" throughout the whole thing, which obviously had to be kind of off-putting for Morrison, because the crowd just did not want him to be in that match at all. Which is true though, because what did he do? Why was he in that match? It so should have been Zack Ryder in that match. But whatever, it was a pretty good match, to be honest. I didn't really write a lot of notes for this one. I don't really know why, but Vicky basically Morrison hits an enziguri on Ziggler, but then he goes for the pinfall, but Vicky obviously puts Dolph Ziggler's foot on the rope, so obviously the ref sends Vicky out the back. Then he goes for the Starship Pain, but Dolph managed to get his knees up, and then he hits the zigzag for the win. So Zack Ryder's obviously still Zack Ryder, Dolph Ziggler. I'm sorry. Dolph Ziggler is still the US champion, which is fair enough. I'm liking Dolph, he is good. But then obviously Zack Ryder just comes out after the match and hits a Rough Rider on him. Obviously gets a massive pop because he's in New York, and obviously that's our Ryder's hometown. So that was first start to the pay-per-view. The Divas match was right. If you watch the first however long it is, right up to about 30 seconds from the end of the match, the Divas match was dreadful. I mean, it was horrible. The crowd were just completely dead silent. I don't know what it is about Eve. She gets cheered if she comes to if she helps Kelly or whatever, or if she's doing a segment backstage. But when she's wrestling, the crowd just dies. Absolutely, utterly died completely. So, it was awful. It was so sloppy and messy. I don't know why they made it a lumberjill match, because they didn't really do anything. They threw Beth back in the ring, and that was pretty much it. Yes, the only, actual redeeming point in this whole match was the fact that, the finish, Beth did a top rope glam slam for the win on Eve. Honestly, I thought there's no way that it's actually going to do that, because divas don't normally take height or do, high-risk moves, but that was impressive. I've got to, for Eve to actually do that is pretty crazy, I didn't think she was going to do it, but it actually happened, and that was a pretty sick ending. The crowd actually popped really big for that. So, Beth is still the Divas champion, so, I'm happy with that. That was fine. So then we had the, obviously, traditional Survivor Series match. It was Team Orton versus Team Barrett. I was looking forward to this match, thought it was going to be quite good. They got off to kind of an odd start, really, because, Orton eliminated Ziggler, right at the start, literally. He'd hardly been in there any time at all, and he just came in and eliminated Ziggler, and it was wow, that was a really quick elimination. Sin Cara, injured himself, because him and Kofi went to do, a simultaneous, dive over the top. But, I didn't really notice it the first time around. It wasn't until they replayed it and said that, Sin Cara was, injured. But, obviously, I don't 100% know if that's legit or scripted at the moment, because there's a big, massive debate on Facebook. A lot of people are saying it was, scripted, because they were oh, he injured his leg, they'd never take his boot off if he was injured, blah, blah, blah. But then, and also the fact that, they kept replaying it, which normally they wouldn't do for, a botch or whatever, but have no idea what actually happened there. But yeah, he basically dived over the top rope, but he got his he didn't quite jump high enough to go over the top, and caught his foot and kind of fell and whacked the back of his knee on the apron, I think. So so he was literally eliminated, and it was oh well, that was impressive. So of course then it went down to 4 and 4. Cody was impressive in this match. He eliminates Mason Ryan. He does the beautiful disaster kick and the crossroads. Mason, I honestly don't like it. I was watching this pay-per-view with my dad, right? Because normally, if I watch pay-per-views here, my dad doesn't watch it because he says my sofa's too low for him. I'm what? But, so he's can I watch it with you? And I was yeah, that's fine, just, be quiet. And he was oh, Mason Ryan, he's really good. And I was Dad, seriously. And then he came out, the whole crowd booed him, and Dad was what are they doing? And I was like I said, he's terrible. But, so yeah, so Cody eliminates him, and then Barrett eliminates Kofi Kingston with the Wasteland. Sheamus, it's weird, Sheamus gets like disqualified because he just doesn't stop like, you know, beating, I think it was Cody, was it Cody? Yeah, oh no, it was Swagger, he just wouldn't, yeah, no, it was Swagger, he just wouldn't stop, like, you know, like, kneeing him, you know, even though the ref said, you know, he needs to stop, so he got disqualified, so the crowd were, like, you know, booing at that. And then he hit the bro kick on Swagger afterwards, so that left Orton on his own, facing 4 people, which obviously I was thinking, oh, you know, before this match I was thinking the heels should win this, you know, because they need to keep pushing, like, Barrett and Cody and stuff, but I was thinking, oh no, they're not going to do that. Orton actually wins, and, like, you know, I'm saying this, you know, I love Orton, but, you know, I was like, no, they can't make him, like, take out all 4 guys. But he didn't, but obviously, yeah, he pinned Swagger, obviously, because Sheamus just bro-kicked him. He hit the RKO on Unuko, which was obviously, you know, quite a sweet RKO, to be honest. But then Cody, like, obviously gets in the ring, and Orton hits the RKO on him, but then he's distracted, obviously, by Cody, so Wade Barrett hits the waistline and eliminates Orton. So Barrett and Cody Rhodes are the sole survivors, well, not sole survivors, because it's more than 2 of them, but, oh, whatever, I don't care. Are these survivors on their team? I'm just tired. So then we had Big Show versus Mark Henry, which was just like, seriously, it was like the first 10 minutes of that match or whatever was like dull. It was so awful. The crowd were just chanting boring, you know, because it was pretty awful. And then they did like that. They tried to remake the bit where, like, a few pay-per-views ago, Henry kind of like charged like Sheamus like through the barricade, but they did it to Big Show and it just looked awful. Like, honestly, rather than, you know, like Henry like forcefully charging, it was like a stumble into him, and it looked pathetic. So that wasn't good. Big Show actually hit a diving elbow, which is like really kind of, you know, bizarre, just because Big Show like never ever normally does like proper top rope moves. I was thinking flipping it, you know, my dad was like, he's never gonna hit that, and then he like did, and I was like, whoa, that was crazy. But then Henry hits a low blow, like, or Big Show goes to like the knockout punch, weapon of mass destruction, whatever you want to call it, but then Henry, like, you know, ducks out the way and hits Big Show with a low blow, and I seriously was like, that is the finish. That was just awful, you know, doing it like a DQ, because that means this feud's going to continue on for another month, and it's like, oh no. But, you know, that was pretty lame. But then after the match, Big Show, like, hits the WMD on Henry, and then does the thing, like, he put Henry's leg in the chair and, like, leg dropped it, so he, like, obviously took his, like, revenge out on Henry. So that was the end of that. So that wasn't really a very impressive match at all, nothing compared to their last one, but like I said on my last, like, video, it's nothing was going to kind of really top the whole ring breaking thing at Vengeance. Honestly, guys, I'm getting this painful review. So Alberto Rio versus CM Punk was next for the WWE Championship, and this was a very good match because CM Punk won. So yeah, that was awesome, loved it. CM Punk, like, he got, like, I'm not probably not kidding here, he almost, or probably did, get just as much reaction as The Rock got, which was surprising, because I thought, you know, The Rock was going to, like, obviously top the kind of reaction, you know, like anybody else got, but obviously CM Punk's pop was absolutely massive. He's just, CM Punk is awesome, he just totally knows how to work the crowd, but, you know, so the match, obviously, itself was pretty good. It was a bit slow kind of to get going, but, like, towards the end of the match it was pretty good. There was, like, a lot of kind of, like, you know, near falls and stuff, and obviously really thought Del Rio was going to win, because he had, like, the cross-arm breaker on Punk for quite a while, and you were like, oh no, because obviously you thought Punk was going to tap, but he didn't. But then Punk, like, gets thrown into, like, or I think Del Rio moves out of the way, so Punk kicks, like, Rodriguez off of the apron, and he manages then to hit the Anaconda. Well, he goes to go for the GTS, but obviously because his arm's weakened from the cross-arm breaker, he can't hit it, but then he, like, hits the, or locks on the Anaconda Vice, which makes Alberto Del Rio tap, so CM Punk is WWE champion again. Oh, he's just awesome. He was just, like, you know, he just, like, dived over the barricade into the crowd, you know, like the security guards, like, trying to drag him off. So he just ran over the other side and did it again. So that was pretty awesome. But yeah, no, Punk is awesome, and I'm really hoping that he'll stay WWE champion for at least a few months now. He really needs to have, like, a decent title reign, because obviously the last one was really annoying when Alberto cashed in on him. So hopefully he can keep this. I can just foresee, like, you know, Cena beating him or something before WrestleMania when he faces The Rock, which is annoying, and hopefully it won't happen. I did say they could make it a triple threat, you know, Punk versus Cena versus Rock, but who knows, that's probably not going to happen. So anyway, main event, Awesome Truth versus John Cena and The Rock. Rock, obviously, you know, the fans just didn't care about it. Like, Cena just got completely booed, utterly, just did not care. Even, there was, like, you know, normally sometimes you get at least a half-decent reaction for him. He just got booed, completely and utterly booed. So there was really, like, no need for him to be in this match. The Rock could have just taken, like, Miz and Truth on his own. I have to say, R-Truth's promo before the match was hilarious, about the pigeons. Honestly, he hasn't done a proper promo, like, where he just talks utter nonsense for so long. This was hilarious. Me and my dad were, like, in stitches, you know, because he was, like, going on about how he, you know, was talking to the pigeons, and he was like, did you know what the pigeon said back to me? Nothing, because pigeons don't talk. And it was just random and hilarious at the same time. So, you know, So The Rock obviously was in the match to start with, and he, like, you know, so I was wondering, like, how good he was going to be, obviously because it's been, like, 7 years since he wrestled, but he literally looked like he literally only wrestled, like, yesterday. He was, like, in really good shape and stuff, and, you know, just wrestled, like, really well. Obviously, the fans then, you know, didn't want him to get out of the ring, but he tagged Cena in, they completely booed him. Cena was in the ring for ages, got, you know, like, completely, like, destroyed by, like, Miz and Truth, but then managed to get The Rock back in, and then The Rock completely annihilated Miz and Truth, and won the match. So, like I say, well, we all said it was a completely pointless match, really. It was only to kind of, like, you know, boost up The Rock and Cena's kind of, like, feud. Miz and Truth really weren't any kind of competition for The Rock at all. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about that match, really. But then after the match, obviously, Cena was leaving, The Rock told him to get back in, and I was like, I was thinking, come on, Cena, please attack The Rock, you know, turn heel. But it didn't happen. The Rock just rock bottomed Cena, and that was that, really. So, yeah, I don't know. For me, personally, I thought the best part was actually CM Punk winning. That was my, like, kind of favourite part of it. Obviously, it was good. It was, obviously, of course, I want to see, you know, The Rock back again. But I think just because they'd overhyped it, and, like, even if you watch, like, the video package, like, before the main event, it was all literally about Cena and Rock. Not hardly anything. You know, they put in about, you know, a minute or like half a minute's worth of stuff about Awesome Truth. The rest of it was completely about Rock and Cena. So, like, you know, that match was just, I don't know, it didn't really need to happen. They could have easily just had, like, some kind of segment, you know, with, like, Rock and Cena, and not actually have to turn it into a kind of match, because it just didn't really, you know, do anything for, like, you know, Awesome Truth. It just made them kind of look, like, you know, weak, really. So, that is pretty much it. That was, you know, obviously not an amazing review, but I'm, like, really tired, but I just wanted to get one up now, because obviously I had to wait until after I've seen Raw. It's going to be, like, ages, and then, yeah. So I'm sorry that this has been, like, a real ramble, but yeah, obviously, guys, don't forget that not a week from Saturday, this Saturday, it's actually this Saturday, I'm going to be doing my question and answer. It's either going to be Saturday or Sunday. Probably will be Saturday, because I was just thinking it's going to be quite close to me doing my SmackDown review, like doing 2 videos in like 2 days, but I'm sure you guys won't mind me doing, you know, 2 videos in like 48 hours. But yeah, no, so please send in your questions. I've already had a few, so, but keep sending more, and obviously I'll remind you again on my Raw review, and obviously if I do another video before then as well, I will remind you on that as well. But yeah, no, so thanks for watching this video. Sorry that, yeah, like I say, it's a bit of a ramble, but yeah, on the whole, Survivor Series was good, so I recommend you, like, check out, yeah, CM Punk versus Alberto Del Rio was good, John Morrison versus Ziggler, just the glam slam from the end of, you know, the Divas match, and obviously just seeing The Rock wrestle at the start, and obviously finishing the match was pretty good. Anyway, that's all I have to say for now, so thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!